Bro, what was this episode today? Like, what the hell did I watch? This was probably the horniest, most manipulative episode I think I've seen this year. Like, bro. Clearly someone did not inform Mappa of what month it is this month. Denji's literally trying to do the opposite, bro. He's not trying to do no nut. He's trying to give a nut. He's like, damn, I can't give this shit away. This episode was wild. But we also got to see some backstory for Aki in this episode, and along with some really interesting information just about the series as a whole that kind of had me really interested. I'm like, damn, I didn't know that was the case. So let's just get into it right away and talk about Chainsaw Man episode 5 today. So our episode literally begins where our last one left off, and I didn't think it would actually, as Denji's just sitting there like, yo, my dreams are about to come true right in this moment, and he doesn't know how to process it. And at this point, I'm sitting here thinking to myself like, nah, this isn't gonna happen, no way. Something's gonna interrupt this, like Aki's gonna walk in or something. Something's gonna clearly interrupt this. But no, it happens! Our boy reaches the promised land. He's not at the Golden Temple just yet, but hey, he's crossed the border. That's a start. And of course, she's just playing it up the whole time, messing with him like, oh, it feels so good. But the jig gets revealed that it's not even that. It's not even the tatas, guys. It's a pad! That's cheating! That is mega cheating. Nah. If I was Denji, I would demand a re-squeeze. I need a redo, man. That's not fair. Yo, but Denji don't care. He's like, I don't care. I'm going back in. And he does, and is it just me, or is Power getting into it a little bit? It definitely seems like that to me. That's the impression I got. Because once the third one was done, she's like, alright, we're done. We're done here. We're done. She's like, what do you think? Was it not fantastic? How lucky for you to grasp such splendorous things. And Denji's mind's just exploded at this point. He can't process anything. But then he says to himself, like, that's it? And then we see throughout the course of his next couple days, he is deeply affected by this. Like, his whole world is shattered. He doesn't know what to do. And even when he's filling out documents with Makima, he's still standing there blank-eyed, like, well, my whole goal is gone. Like, what do I do now? She notices and asks him, like, is something bothering you, Denji? And he tells her that there's something I was chasing after, and I finally managed to get it. But once I did, it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought. Now I'm wondering, if I go after something else and get my hands on it, am I just gonna think I was happier during the chase? And I kind of feel him on this, honestly. Like, you're chasing after something for so long, you made something your goal for so long, that when you finally achieve it, it's never what you expect it to be. It never is. Even something as ridiculous as this. Once it finally happened, he's like, well, that was kind of lackluster. So he's kind of hesitant how to move forward. Makima asks him, what exactly are you talking about here? He tells her, I touched the Booba for the first time, but it wasn't even that great. They were pads. And it's in this scene that we see some really manipulative shit, honestly. And Makima is incredibly aggressive as she grabs Denji's hand and tells him that, I believe that when it comes to sex, the better you understand the other person, the better it feels. But it's hard to understand how someone else feels. So, start with observing the hand carefully. And this scene is really one of the most manipulative I've seen in such a long time, as she's like, how long is their fingers? Is their palm cold? What's the shape of their ears? As she's just overloading him with information right now. She literally bites this man's thumb and says, remember this. So that even if you can't see, you'll be able to tell it's me from how hard I'm biting. In this situation, I'm kind of like Denji. Like, even I don't know how I'd react to this. Like, bro, she is coming on to him hard. She's not done though. She literally takes his hand and puts it on her chest. And Denji loses his fucking mind here. Literally stimulus overload right now. But now comes the true motive as she kneels over him and says, I'd like you to do something for me. And it's here we get into a really important scene, like I know for a fact, within the series, just from hearing this explanation. She says, I want you to beat the Gun Devil. As she says, it appeared in America 13 years ago, but nobody knows where it's from. Or where it is now. And of course it's from America, the Gun Devil. She says it's a very strong devil that all hunters want to kill. But I happen to think that you can kill it. If you happen to kill the Gun Devil, I'll make any wish of yours come true. Denji literally asked her, like, you're gonna make any wish come true? And she said, yes, I said any wish. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Denji's just like, holy shit, is that even allowed? She tells him it's only allowed because this devil is so strong and bad, mind you. She continues and says, people were trying to profit off of guns as a countermeasure against devils across the world, which resulted in the increase in crime and conflict. The news would constantly focus on it, with people more afraid of gun violence than ever. Then a major armed terrorist attack happened in America. That was the day the Gun Devil appeared. And it's here we transition to a pretty sad scene, actually, because we see Aki's backstory here. We transition to that really coolly, I might add. And we see that Aki just wants to hang out with his parents, man. He wants some attention, but his little brother is always taking it from him. So his little brother actually decides, no, I want to play with you, bro. So they go out there, and begrudgingly, Aki doesn't want to play at first, but he eventually does, and he starts to have a good time with his little brother. As he tells him, hey, go grab your glove from the house, we'll play a little bit. But literally, in kind of comedic fashion, honestly, after his brother goes into the house, we see the house just get completely blown away. As Makima tells us that in a little under 5 minutes, 1.2 million people were killed. The Gun Devil hasn't been seen since. And that's how Aki's family dies. Like, that's insane to me. That's wild. Like, it's kind of comedic how it happened, but at the same time, 1.2 million people dying in an instant, that in 5 minutes, that's freaking insane. Makima wants Denji to fight that. Like, I don't know about that. She says that gun control got a lot more severe in an attempt to weaken the Gun Devil, along with increased censorship of the news. We seem to be drawing a lot of real-world parallels with the Gun Devil. It's kind of unnerving. But Makima eventually asks Denji, like, do you think you can beat it? Now, Denji's all souped up right now. He's like, if I bust out all the stops, it'll be a piece of cake. Okay. The power of Booba can only take you so far. She continues and says, there are pieces of the Gun Devil that we've collected. It's so fast, pieces of it are torn off just from moving. If a devil eats some of this, no matter what their nature, they will become more powerful. Because of how strong the Gun Devil is, once the chunks of flesh reach a certain size, they start to be attracted to the original body, which makes sense, honestly. So if we continue to collect these pieces, it'll eventually lead us to the Gun Devil. It kind of feels like Jujutsu Kaisen with Sukuna's fingers, you know what I mean? In a way. Yo, I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of people in the comments saying, it's not the same at all! But it's here we transition to another job, actually, because the devil's been spotted inside of a hotel. Several of the civilian devil hunters who initially went in have been found dead. It's believed the target has consumed a piece of the Gun Devil, as we see that Aki's actually holding a piece himself. And it's here we just get a squad shot of everyone that's going into the building. And I know some of y'all in the comments that are manga readers are popping off like, let's go, finally. I already know it. I can tell. It's that kind of shot. One of the investigators that's there actually speaks up in this moment and says, Aki, considering we're about to fight some devils here, can we really trust these two to watch our backs? One's a fiend and the other's just some punk. Aki tells him that on extermination missions, they're going to be taking point, meaning that they're going in first. If they try to run or switch sides, we kill them right then and there. He tells Denji and Power that you two don't get rights. Himeno actually speaks up and says, Aki, you can't just be harsh all the time, you know? Denji's like, she's right. The Bat Devil almost killed me and now there's even more work? I want a reward, man. And Himeno says, alright, got it. I'll take one for the team then. As she says, whoever kills this devil here will win a kiss on the cheek from yours truly. And the other investigator who's named Arai is like, nah, don't do that. Don't promise something like that. I'm sensing a little bit of feelings here, guys. Just a little bit. But Denji, remembering his deal with Makima, says, I'm not gonna sweat the kisses. I'm plenty motivated already. I got my sights set on someone for a first kiss already. So, until the gun devil's dead, no smooching for me. Aki's looking at him like, what the fuck did you just say? Himeno literally says, that's a hell of a thing to say in front of Aki. Yo, Denji's got balls, man. Denji says, I don't even know your name, so I ain't after your lips. She's like, oh, really now? Then, if you kill the devil, Denji, how about I tongue you down a bit? And Denji's mind gets blown. And Arai's just looking at him like, what the fuck did you just say? And Denji's so souped. He literally just runs in there. He's like, yo, I gotta go kill this devil now. Arai is literally just running after him like, yo, you need to stop, man. He eventually pushes Denji into the wall and says, Himeno's been nice enough to train me for the last 6 months. If the alternative is letting some thug like you kiss her, then I guess I'll just reluctantly have to be the one to get the kiss myself. Like, what? Bro, I knew he had feelings. I knew he did. He's too heated not to. As Power and Kobeni actually join in, and Aki asks Himeno, like, what's your take on the rookies? We're about to get a little serious for a second, as she says, I'd say Arai's not super confident, but he makes up for it in motivation. Meanwhile, Kobeni's got the moves, but she's really timid. As she asks, you think any of these 4 rookies have a shot of surviving? As Aki says that most people either die or go private after a year, regardless of how strong I thought they were. But she notes that Aki's kind of avoiding the question, as she tells him, don't die on me, Aki. And it's here we transition to a pretty intense scene, honestly, as we see how Aki and Himeno actually became partners. And the very first thing she asks him is, are you going to be any help? You're going to end up being my 6th partner. The others all died. They all died because they were useless. As she says again, don't die on me, Aki. And I'm sitting here thinking like that everyone in this agency has such a terrible past. Aki was completely right about the fact that everyone here has a motivation. They have a drive. They have a purpose that they want to achieve by doing this. Like, you can't come in here with weak resolve and expect not to die. Like, we're really seeing that everyone here, like, has a really dark past when it comes to devils. And it's here we see our first devil that Power easily ends up killing. And it's here that Himeno actually explains that I've got a contract with the Ghost Devil. I served up my right eye in exchange for being able to see a ghost's right hand. Really interesting, honestly. They realize this isn't the devil they're looking for that's consumed the Gun Devil's flesh. They're continuing the search. But it's here all of a sudden that Arai notices something. He notices the blood on the ground. He says, wait, he probably thinks to himself, like, wait a minute, haven't we passed that already? As he asks that we were on our way to the 9th floor from the 8th, right? So how are we on the 8th floor still? As he actually runs down the stairs and ends up coming down them from Denji and everyone's perspective. They even say, like, weren't you just going downstairs? As apparently they're all trapped inside of like a paradox where they keep staying on the 8th floor as our episode ends. And we get a really dope ending, honestly. I love the fact that we get a new ending each week. This one's great. In terms of songs, I think this might be one of the best songs, actually. But yeah, this episode was all over the place, to say the least. But that information about the Gun Devil, I really do find interesting as hell, because you would imagine that a Gun Devil would be one of the strongest devils, right? Since devils are kind of like a manifestation of a certain object. So since so many people fear guns, you would think like this is one of the strongest there is. And it wiped out 1.2 million people in 5 minutes. That's insane. This thing is on like a whole different level. There's no way Denji's beating that thing right now, but it's a lot of interesting things in this episode. We even got to see Aki's past a little bit. It was kind of funny how they permitted it, or showed it, I should say. But like, it's still sad that his whole family just wiped out in an instant. So I'm glad we got to see his motivation a little more. But yeah, guys, this episode was fun. Very horny for some reason, but very fun. So you guys let me know what you thought of it down below. But until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until then, deuces, have a blessed day, and don't get manipulated like Denji, man. Denji is literally on Makima's hook and line, bro. She is completely has him reeled in. It's wild. It's wild, guys. But until next time, I'll see you guys. Have a great day.